Good afternoon, everyone. Today is Tuesday, November 12th of 2024. It is approximately 2:04 p.m. and we are starting or convening a session of the Philadelphia Tax Review Board. My name is Melissa Andre and I am the executive director here, and it is my responsibility to remind everybody to please be aware that this is a public hearing and it is being recorded. Because the meeting is public, participants and viewers have no expectation of privacy, and by continuing to be in this meeting, you are consenting to being recorded. This recording will also be posted on the Tax Review Board website. At this time, I would like to introduce our board members, Board Chair Paula Weiss, as well as board members Nancy Kammerdiener, and with me, John O'Connor. Paula, please take it away.
Good afternoon, everyone. Tax Review Board hearings for whatever day this is, November 12th, 2024, now in session. We're going to start with cases labeled 2 and 4 on our docket for Janet Whitaker. Case number 2, 8127 Forest Avenue. Last 4 digits of the docket, REET. Case number 4 is 8107 Forest Avenue. Last 4 digits of the docket, TPH2. And I believe that the petitioner is in our offices, so we're going to give her a minute to enter the hearing room.
All right, Ms. Whitaker is coming. She will be coming here. Just have a seat.
I didn't want to cancel anything.
Thank you so much. All right, just keep your voice nice and loud, and the board will. Can you see? You okay? Just keep your voice nice and loud. Paula?
Yep. Ms. Whitaker?
Yeah.
Good afternoon. My name is Paula Weiss, Chair of the Tax Review Board. Could you state your full name for the record, please? Wait.
My name is Janet Whitaker.
And do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in these matters will be the truth?
I do affirm.
Thank you. So we see that you have 2 properties you've petitioned for. We will take them one at a time. We're going to start with 8127 Forest Avenue. I am going to turn to the city's representatives first to read into the record the years and dollar amounts and controversy. And then we're going to come back to you and you'll have an opportunity to explain why you're here and what you're looking for from our board. Okay?
Yes.
I need you to speak into, when you do speak to us, you need to speak into the microphone so that we can all hear you, okay?
Yes.
All right, so who has this matter for the city?
I do, Ms. Chairperson. I'm Elizabeth Scattergood. I'm here on behalf of the City of Philadelphia for all 6 of the cases appearing before the board this afternoon. And
who do you
with
have
me? Yes,
today?
and with me is Katrina Whitaker,
okay,
whom I will let introduce herself.
Thank you. Ms. Whitaker, good afternoon.
Good
afternoon.
Tax Review Board. Could you please state your name and position with the city?
My name is Katrina Whitaker. I am a supervisor with the Revenue Board, Department of Revenue.
Do you swear or affirm that all the testimony you're about to give in these matters this afternoon will be the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. So I assume then, Ms. Whitaker, you are going to read into the record the years and dollar amounts for this property, 8127 Forest Avenue?
Yes.
Okay, go.
Okay, so this covers the years 2010 through 2023. The principal is $4,650.00. The penalties are $4,301.61. The interest is $2,988.50, and the total is $11,940.11.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Scattergood, any opening comments?
I would like to.
I'm sorry. What property are we referencing?
8127 Forest Avenue. Okay, Ms. Scattergood.
I want to begin by expressing my my sympathy and understanding for Ms. Whitaker's taking care of her mother and her cancer treatment. I've been there. I'm there right now with the mom, so I will
hear
keep
that.
you guys, I'll keep you guys in my prayers. And my understanding is that at the departmental hearing, before a representative of the Department of Revenue in April of 2024, the departmental representative abated all penalties and all interest, as well as 50% of the principal owed on these trash collection fees between 2010 and 2023.
Okay. But the dollar amounts read in are the full amounts, is that correct?
My
Yes.
understanding is yes.
Okay, and any other comments that you want to make about this case? Before we turn to Ms. Whitaker.
I don't believe there has been any claim of vacancy during the disputed period. And because this is a residential property, my understanding is no exemptions have been requested or approved, nor any vacancy licenses requested or granted during the disputed period.
Okay, then we're going to turn to Ms. Whitaker. Ms. Whitaker, what would you like to tell us about this property at 81, was it 27?
Yes.
Yes.
Forest Avenue.
8127 Forest Avenue. I've lived in the home for the entire time that I've owned it. And that's got to be pretty close to 30 years except for a brief period where some relatives moved me around the corner.
And when was that?
Really ill. I'm sorry.
When did you not live in the property?
For about 6 months, and that was
Oh, okay.
probably about 20, maybe 20 years ago, 15 years ago, so it was a while ago.
So is this your primary
I
residence?
mean, I came back because they moved me to Mount Pleasant, and it was a busy street, so busy thoroughfare, so they had to bring me back.
Okay. Is this your primary residence? Is this the only place you live?
Yes, yes,
do-
I
and does-
have documentation from the neighbors and everything.
Is it a one-family house? Do you have other apartments in the building?
No, it's a duplex house. It was built as a duplex.
Okay. And do you have tenants?
No, no tenants. No tenants.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to tell us right at this moment about the house? That's okay if you don't. I mean,
Well,
we'll give you another opportunity.
I'm not sure what else that I can say. I brought documentation from 2 of the neighbors, 2 written sign statements that
Mhm.
have lived on the block for longer than me.
Okay. All right, hang on a second. Ms. Scattergood, do you have any questions for Ms. Whitaker?
I do, Ms. Chairperson. All right, Ms. Whitaker, have you had the opportunity to review Ms. Whitaker's to review the petition? For sake of simplicity, I'll refer to our petitioner as petitioner since we've got 2 Ms. Whitakers right now.
Maybe we could-
So that they
Maybe
won't
we
get-
could use a first name. Katrina,
Yeah.
would you mind?
All right.
No,
Okay.
you could use my
Okay,
first
Why
name.
don't we
It's
do
fine.
that?
All right,
Yeah.
Katrina. So you've had the opportunity to review the petitioner's account.
Yes.
Okay, so when did she purchase this property?
I think she purchased this property in 2000. Well, no, she's always had it. It doesn't have a regular date for that. It says 1939.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is that because on the PRISM database that we use for the Department of Revenue, the earliest date that it will list for any property for ownership is 1939? Like that's just
Yes.
kind of the default start point?
Yep. Yes, it
Okay.
is.
Okay. All right. And is there refuse, like a trash collection account for this property?
Yes.
Okay. Has this account ever been closed?
No,
Has anyone else ever owned this property?
no.
Okay. And what type of property is this according to our PRISM system?
Duplex.
Okay. And has any license ever been issued to this property during the years in question, which would be 2010 through 2023?
Yes, from 2010 to 2012, there has been a rental license.
Okay. And that
Mhm.
license was not renewed?
No, not after 2012. It wasn't renewed at all.
Okay. All right. Has the petitioner ever submitted any private hauler contracts for using a service other than the city streets department to haul and collect the trash?
Not for a private hauler, but for owner occupied
Okay,
exemption, and that was recently.
so the petitioner applied for an exemption from the trash collection fees based on the owner occupied duplex under, I think it's section 1.2, subsection 1.2D.
Yes.
Okay. And when did Ms. Whitaker apply for that exemption?
She applied for it actually just this year.
Okay.
So it was for this year.
And was it granted or denied?
It was approved.
It was approved, excuse me.
Mhm. Yes,
Okay.
it was approved.
All right.
Can I
And-
interrupt a second, Ms. Scattergood? Wanted
Yes,
to
of
hear
course.
you or Ms. Could you review for the board and for Ms. Whitaker, please? If this is an owner occupied duplex, is any of the refuse fee applicable?
I'll let Katrina double check that, but my understanding is that the owner occupied exemption applies when for duplexes, when there are exactly 2 units and the owner has to live in at least one of them,
Mhm.
right?
Yes.
And the exemptions typically have to be affirmatively applied for every year. So
But assuming that it is, does that completely waive the fee?
for the year for which the applicant is requesting the exemption, if the exemption is granted, yes.
Okay, so it's not like half of the fee would be due. All of it is waived. If she meets all of those requirements.
Yes,
Okay.
I believe so.
That's what I wanted reviewed. Okay, thank you.
2022 onward is full waiver of those fees. I believe prior to the amendment of the regulations in the code, prior to 2022, I believe it was a 50% waiver.
Okay.
I wanted to say something. First of all, I didn't even know that that I would have to be paying for trash. Number one, I didn't even know about this, that you had to make application. You had to make special application for an exemption. Because I've lived in my own duplex the entire time that I've owned it. And it's got to be upwards of 30 years, because I don't even have a mortgage anymore.
No, we understand that. And the city has agreed with you that you've been there a long time. You've been an owner a long time.
I didn't even know about that, that you had to pay extra, or that
Did you get bills each year?
I don't know if I got billed every year. I don't know whether I got billed every year for refuse.
When did you first become aware of this?
within the past 4 to 5 years. Within the
4
past
to
4 to
5 years? Okay.
Okay,
within the
all right,
past
all
4
right,
to
thank
5
you.
years.
We're gonna let Ms. Scattergood finish providing her information. Go ahead.
Yeah, my next question for Katrina was going to be where bills have been sent for trash collection for this property.
I only can say for recently would be to the property itself, so 8127 Forest Avenue. I can't say how it was in our old system, which was tips,
Okay.
but I'm assuming it went to the property.
Well, but you don't really know. Okay.
Yeah, no, not for,
Okay.
yeah, they don't tell us that.
Okay. And we made the switch from tips at the beginning of 2024 or the end of 2023.
2022, I believe.
2022, excuse me.
Yeah.
Okay. So so information about mailing addresses, mailing stuff prior to 22 is not going to be available anymore. Okay.
No.
And I'm trying to think if I had another question. All right. So the payment history on this account, what does it look like for the just for trash collection?
There, let me see. There isn't really. I don't have any payment history for trash.
Okay.
Nothing was paid at all towards trash.
Okay. Understood. All right. I don't think I have any further questions. Aside, I guess I'll close by saying that our records show that the bills have been sent, that trash collection bills have been sent to the property. And
Martin,
Just wait, Miss Whitaker. Wait,
Oh.
he's still speaking, Miss
oh, I'm
Whitaker.
sorry, oh, I'm sorry.
that's all right. That's all right,
I'm
ma'am.
sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, it's okay. I was pausing to collect my thoughts for a moment. The Ms. Whitaker has received the owner occupied duplex exemption for the year of 2024. And it appears that based upon the department hearing officer's decision to abate the principal by 50%, he or she retroactively applied the owner occupied duplex exemption for the rest of the disputed period, with the exception of, I think, 2010 to 2015, during which there was no duplex exemption, during which there was no owner occupied duplex exemption at all. So our position is that for 2010 to 15, it stinks that that Ms. Whitaker didn't see the bills, but those bills were her responsibility as the property owner. And 2015 to 21, the 50% owner occupied exemption has already been applied, and 21 to 23, the 100% owner occupied duplex exemption applies.
I don't understand why. No, I'm saying that 50%, I should be getting 100%.
Ms. Whitaker, can I ask you a question? The city's records show that at some point leading up to 2012, there was a rental license on this property. Did you have tenants at some point?
Don't try to have tenants, but I didn't want to deal with it.
But did you have tenants?
I didn't have any tenants, but I bought the license. That's why I never renewed any license, because I didn't I didn't rent to anyone. People on the block said that it was too much aggravation. And I mean, I wasn't exactly a youngster even then.
Understood. I get it.
I wasn't exactly a youngster even then. Relatives, I've been spent time taking care of my mother who in 90s and all of that stuff.
No, we understand, and, you know, and Ms. Scattergood, we do understand.
Come to my house and then like kind of help me, especially as I began to be sickly over the years.
Of
Um,
course.
I guess my issue is, 50%, I don't understand why I'm not getting 100%.
Well, Ms. Whitaker, the board has not made a decision yet. That was a hearing officer decision, and that's why we're here today to give it another review. But as Ms. Scattergood has explained, the city does have certain laws on the books and rules and regulations that govern duplexes that perhaps, as you said, you were not aware of, but that's why this board is here to review it and make sure that we can, you know, provide assistance to you within the confines of what city council has provided for refuse collection. So if that's all there is on this, I'm gonna ask, we have another property. Do we
So
step back?
I'm the only occupied owner on the block. The block is duplexes. I'm the only one that stayed just as an owner living on the block and trying to help manage the block.
We appreciate that. We really are, we do hear what you're saying. We do hear what you're saying. But if there's nothing further, do we want to step back and deliberate on this property right now? And then we'll come back and talk about the other property?
While it's fresh.
Okay, so Ms. Whitaker, just stay where you are and the board is going to have a conversation privately.
Okay. If everyone just stays where they are. Thank you. Nancy, you have to go in the room.
I was about to say, I can't find that. Something happened when we were coming on initially, and I no longer have in my listing today's agenda. I can still hear everything that goes on, but I'm not able to directly communicate. I think if you could resend to me the,
Okay, Nancy. Okay. You have to get out of the room and then I'll put you back in.
oh, okay, I'm going to have to sign off completely because I can't see anything about what's there.
Okay. Nancy, please go into the room. She looks frozen. Never been, oh, she's in there. Okay, let's go back in there. Okay, Paula, everyone is back.
Tax Review Board is now back in session. Ms. Whitaker, for the property at 8127 Forest Avenue, it is the determination of the Tax Review Board members that this entire bill, principal, interest, and penalty shall be abated and waived based on the testimony and documentation that you've provided, that this is your primary residence, that you occupy the entire premises as a one-family dwelling. It has not been a rental. There are no other people living in it. And therefore the entire bill should be waived for the period of time in question. However, I do want to caution you that because of the city's records and because of the classification in the city's records, that you do need to remember every year to reapply for the exemption as an owner-occupied duplex.
Keep doing it from now on every year.
Every year you need to apply for that exemption. But for the bill that goes back to 2010, this board has determined that that bill should be waived. Can I get concurrence from fellow board members?
John O'Connor, I concur.
Nancy Camerdiner, I concur.
Paula Weiss, I concur. Ms. Whitaker, you're going to get a letter from the Tax Review Board in about 2 weeks that does have all of that information that I've just explained to you, although probably not the exemption information. And either side may appeal to the Court of Common Pleas should they so desire. They have 30 days from the date of our letter to do so. And we are going to move on to the next property that you have, Ms. Whitaker, which is 8107 Forest Avenue. Ms. Scattergood, I believe that's yours as well.
Yes, ma'am,
Yes.
it is.
And Ms. Whitaker is going to give us the information.
Katrina, when you're ready?
Yes, I'm sorry.
No,
Okay, go ahead.
of course.
Okay, so I'm sorry, I was doing some calculations because I did the wrong I added 2024 and I didn't mean to. So just give me 1 second and I will. Okay, so. Okay, so this covers the years 2010 through 2023. And the principal is $4,650.00. The penalties are $4,361.40. The interest is $3,016.00, and the total is $12,027.40.
Okay, any opening comments, Ms. Scattergood?
Um, sorry, just making sure that I was not muted. So based on Ms. Whitaker's petition, she's claiming this property was vacant for the entire disputed period. And this is another case of no, I guess alleged no notice of the bills is what my understanding is. I believe that that she has applied for an owner occupied payment agreement for at least the real estate tax. But I will let,
I don't think she
I'll-
can do that. She doesn't live there.
She lives in the other property.
right.
Okay.
We're talking about
that's not
81,
relevant.
I'm sorry, we're talking about 8107 Forest Avenue, correct?
Yes, yeah,
Correct.
Okay,
we just finished 8120.
right, okay. So she applied in error for the office applied it in error to 8107, which is what we're talking about right now.
Yeah. All right, so that's really irrelevant to us.
Okay, apologies. All right. Okay, board's indulgence.
If you want to wait till she provides her testimony, that's fine.
Right. Okay.
Okay. All right,
All
Ms.
right.
Whitaker, can you tell us about the property at 8107 Forest Avenue?
Yes, at 8107, even in the earlier hearing, that I think was in April. What I stated then was that the billing for trash was not accurate, at this house, because it had been vacant for the entire, billing period. And I'm talking about 2010 to 2023, except for 4 years, 2015 to 2019, when I did state that I let a neighbor live in one of the apartments. And I brought in, at that time, which I also have today, the documentation from the water department, because I was told that I would have to show that there was absolutely no usage of water other than that time, when I let the neighbor, let her daughter move in. So I did go to the water department, and had them print out month to month, year for year, the entire period of 2010 to 2023. And that showed the usage of every single month during that period. And they marked it off, although they did tell me that I did not need to mark things off. That I said, well, I'm taking this down to the tax review board. And they said to me, people at the tax review board know how to read.
No, that was nice of them.
So,
Give us some credit. So this property, when did you purchase this property?
at the same time, or within, not exactly at the same time.
And what kind of property is this?
It's a duplex also. It's a
And it's
duplex
been
house.
mostly vacant all these years?
It's been vacant all this time, but a neighbor came to me and said the daughter was in a bad shape and needed a place to move. So I put her in there for the 4 years.
And did you ever apply for a vacant property license with the city to alert the city that it was vacant?
No, I didn't, but, not until recently when I was told that, when I was given the agreement, the owner occupied agreement for 27, they told me that I needed to get a vacant license for '07, even if I wasn't going to have any tenants, to still get, a license. And I've gone down there, and I do have to go again, I guess, on Thursday, because they told me at the L&I department down at Municipal Services Building that it's not like when you go down there to see about taxes, that you have to have a cell phone, get an appointment to be seen. At the other kiosk sign-ins, you don't have to have a cell phone. But for L&I, and they did go in the back, and the supervisor came out and sent a note out, and they've given me a telephone, a 555-5555 number to try to use on the kiosk system since.
And when did you first become aware of this bill? Did you get bills in the mail for this?
I didn't remember getting bills on this one, no.
Do you visit that? I know you live on the same block. Do you pick up the mail from that property?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Because, for example, I had to go into an agreement on the water. So-
Okay. All right, thank you. Ms. Scattergood?
Hi, Katrina. To dovetail on the last point, where does the PRISM system show that bills have been sent for 8107 Forest Avenue?
It was sent to 8107 Forest Avenue. That's
To
the mailing
8107.
address, yes.
Okay. And you have had a chance to review this account,
Yes,
and this is and what kind of property is this?
a duplex.
It is a duplex. Okay.
Mhm.
And have any licenses ever been issued for this property between
Yes,
2010 and 23?
rental license only until, I guess it was from 2010 to 2011, and then no licenses after that.
Okay. And what was that license for?
Rental,
A rental license. Okay.
yes,
And
rental license.
and you said it expired in 2011?
Yes,
Okay. And has Ms. Whitaker applied for any exemptions to the trash collection fees during the disputed period?
not that I can see. No.
Okay. And has the trash collection account ever been closed?
No.
Okay. What does the payment history look like for this account?
There were no payments.
Okay. And just for the record, what does the billing and fee system look like for trash collection? Is it a flat rate? Is it a monthly rate based on occupancy, or how does the department bill for trash collection?
The department sends out a bill twice a year.
Okay.
So for the upcoming year, which is 2025, they started sending out bills for 2025 this month. So it gives the whole total, which is $500 for the fee. And it also, I think it states on that bill that you could pay half. Half of it is due by December 31st, 2024. And then the second half is due by June 30th, 2025 for the next 6 months of the year.
Okay. And it's $500 excuse me, is colloquially $500 for everybody who has a trash collection account.
Yes.
Okay. And is that regardless of what kind of property it is or how many people live there?
It's $500 regardless of
Okay.
who lives there, if it's a business, if it's not a business. Yeah, so
Okay.
it's $500.
Okay. All right. So,
Can
the,
I interrupt a second, Ms. Whitaker? Do you know where those bills have been going? For as long as you can see?
No, no, I don't, but I do know, I do.
I'm sorry, Ms. Whitaker, I actually meant
Oh, I'm sorry,
Katrina.
I'm sorry.
Ms. Whitaker's gets a
No,
little
I'm
confusing.
sorry, I
Katrina.
misspoke, I'm sorry.
I only see that it's sending directly to the property for the letters that were sent out since we got the new system, which is
Okay.
2022. So it's only been going to 8107 Forest Avenue.
Got it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I don't have any further questions from Katrina, but Ms. Whitaker, Ms. Janet Whitaker, do you mind if I ask you where you've been receiving bills for water and utilities, like the PGW and water bills for this property, the vacant one? Where have you been receiving those?
81, at 8107.
At 8107.
yeah.
Okay,
At the property,
at the property.
at the property for, for water, for gas, yeah, for water and gas. Because even though the property is vacant, in the dead of winter, to stop the pipes from freezing.
Right. Okay. So you've been receiving those bills at 8107. Okay.
And I want to take that to now, I'm pretty sure, and I'm not talking about within the past year or two, but prior to that, I do remember getting telephone calls questioning me about was 8107, was it vacant, was it occupied at all? And I do believe that that was in reference to refuge. But I would say that that must have been maybe 3 or 4 years ago. It has not been recently, but I do remember being questioned on telephone.
Okay. You said 3 or 4 years ago is about when your neighbor moved out of that apartment, right?
No, that was in.
Oh, that was 4 or 5 years ago, excuse me.
No,
Okay.
they stayed for 4 years,
When did they move out?
2019.
2019. Okay.
And they moved, I let her move in 2015.
Okay. Okay. I have no further questions about this property. ma'am.
Any other board members have any questions? Shall we move into a private room?
Yes, I do want to say, Ms. Scattergood, I sent you the water bills that Ms. Whitaker, the petitioner, provided to the board. They were also sent to the board. So if you want to take a look at them while the board is also reviewing them, that would be great. All right, I'm going to put everybody in the room.
I did see that. Thank you, Melissa.
No problem. Paula, everyone is back.
All right, Tax Review Board is back in session. Ms. Whitaker, Ms. Scattergood, we did look at the property at 8107 Forest. We reviewed all the information provided. And it is the decision of the board, Ms. Whitaker, that we are going to abate all of the penalty and all of the interest. We recognize the good faith. We recognize that perhaps there was no awareness on your part of this fee. You'll get, however, a vacant going forward in order to maintain that. You are going to need to file a vacancy license with the city each year, and so that the city is aware and alerted to the fact that the property remains vacant, should that be the case. So you'll get a letter from the Tax Review Board in about 2 weeks that penalty and interest have been waived. You'll get an adjusted bill from the Department of Revenue, and you can enter into payment arrangements with them as you choose within 30 days from the date of that bill. Can I get concurrence from fellow board members?
Yes, John O'Connor, I concur.
Nancy Camerodiner, I concur.
Paula Weiss, I concur. Ms. Whitaker, that letter will also have information explaining that either side may appeal to the Court of Common Pleas within 30 days of the date of that letter. So I believe that that concludes the matters you have in front of us today. Ms. Whitaker?
Yeah,
Yes, okay, so that's the end for today. And you'll get the letters from us with the decisions on both of your cases. Okay, so thank you very much for coming in.
and thank you for the consideration.
All right, and we are going to move on. And I believe we have the representative for case number 1 on Zoom. Case number 1, which is Deliverance Tabernacle Church, 5500 Ardley Street, last 4 digits of the docket, 5971. Ms. Clausel,
Yes,
said that correctly?
Yes.
Good afternoon. My name is Paula Weiss, Chair of the Tax Review Board. Could you please state your full name and your relationship to the Deliverance Tabernacle Church?
yes, ma'am. My name is Jacqueline King Clausel, and I simply served as a representative of the owners of the property, in as much as submitting paperwork for a hearing, and I'm here with the computer, but the property owners are here, Miss Jeanette, and both property owners are here, so you can swear them in as well, but they are I can't think of it, the owners of Deliverance Tabernacle Church. Their names are on the Articles of Incorporation. Mine is not. I'm just here to help.
Okay, so let's start. Okay, so let me start with you. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give will be the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and now who is with you? Could they please come?
Yep,
closer
I'll turn
to
it
you
around.
so okay.
Yep, hold on one second. So this is Miss Jeanette Nichols. Can they see Nicholson? Can you see them?
Yeah.
Can you see her?
Okay. Yes, Ms. Nicholson,
Yes, ma'am.
do you state your full name for us, please?
My name is Jeanette Williams Nicholson.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and
Yes.
who else is with you?
Okay, so we have Miss Esther Williams. One moment. Let me turn the chair around. There you go.
Okay, Ms. Williams, could you state your full name, please, for us?
Yes, Esther C. Williams.
And do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth?
Yes,
Okay, and and you are, I guess, who is the owner of the property?
Both Miss Williams and Miss Nicholson.
As individuals?
No, their names are listed on the Articles of Incorporation for Deliverance Tabernacle.
And the church is the owner of the property?
Yes, ma'am.
And the church is still the owner of the property today?
No. So
Okay.
I can give you a summary of what brings us here today, if
No, we need to be sure that we have ownership information correctly before we move into the
That's
tax.
fine. That's fine. My business, my husband and I purchased it under our business from them.
So are
we
you the
have a
owner currently?
Yes, ma'am.
And what do you do with this property?
Well, right now it's being demoed. It needs a lot of work. So nothing's being done at this time. I actually need to file the paperwork to show that it's vacant at this time, but nothing.
Okay.
And when did you become owners of the property?
July 3rd, was it? July 2nd,
Of what year?
2024.
2024. Okay, so you're the current owner of the property. Ms.
Yes,
Nichols
under,
Williams are the prior owners of the property.
right.
Okay,
And we just happen to have a personal relationship. We know one another, and I'm here to help.
Great. All right. So you're here today, although we'll get the specific information about refuse collection fees that accrued prior to your ownership while the church was the owner. Is that correct?
Yep. Yes, ma'am. So what
Okay.
happened is
Oh,
before
no,
I,
I'm going to stop you right there. All right,
okay,
so make
okay,
sure we have that.
okay.
And I want to turn to the city's attorney, Ms. Scattergood. Do you have any questions about ownership before we move into the merits of the case? It
What?
seems we have standing if we have the current owner.
I believe so, yes.
You're okay.
I will
So
turn
the
it over to, I'll turn it over to Ms. Whitaker to give us the facts and figures regarding the amounts in dispute and the periods in dispute.
Okay, and then Ms. Clausell, we'll come back to you and you can explain to us how you got to this place.
Yep.
Ms. Whitaker?
So this covers the years 2013 to 2024. The principal is $500.00. Penalties is $2,778.92. Interest is $591.57.
No, ma'am, I think you're reading the numbers from what I need to take care of since I've purchased a property under WEI Phila Ventures.
That's the only numbers I have.
Has everything been paid?
Well, that's
because
what I was
it's
trying to explain to you guys.
All right, why don't we go
just-
back to Ms. Clausell? Go ahead. Was this paid at closing?
No, and that's what I'm trying to say. The title company is holding it because I share with, what happened is before we purchased it from Deliverance,
Mhm.
I filled out the paperwork and I took it downtown and scheduled this hearing. So we had a hearing on January 10th, 2024. And at that time, the refuge bill was 88,637. And as a result of the hearing that we had at that time, there was an abatement granted, 2 abatements. One of them was for 1784 in interest and 2676.37 in penalty, which brought the balance down to 4,400. We did receive the new bill from the Revenue Department, and payment was supposed to be made within a certain amount of days. And that is where we started to run into the problem. And I, fell on just asking you guys for some mercy, and I arranged this hearing again today because they really didn't have the money to pay it. But what they were planning to do, we knew all along that they were going to sell the property to my husband and I under our business name. We didn't get it done fast enough. We have purchased it, but they weren't able to make any payments until the sale went through, and we went over that 60-day period. So I reached out after purchasing the property to Ms. Bennett at the Tax Review Board, and I said, is there any way possible that we can have another hearing, which is why we're sitting here today, to possibly have you guys consider reinstating the abatement? And then the title company, they're just holding the money right now because they don't know whether to pay you guys, because basically everything that was abated was put back on the bill because no payments have been made. And we're falling on your mercy to asking if you could possibly reinstate the abatement so that the amount owed by the prior owners is reduced again. And then we can have something in writing that we can share with the title company, or when they reach out to you guys to verify, so that they pay the reduced amount and then they release the difference of the money to the owners. If any of that made sense. I don't know your language, but that's.
No, that makes
Oh,
sense.
you did a
But
really
we have
good job.
a lot
Okay,
of
good,
questions,
thanks.
But go ahead. Melissa, did you want to ask something first?
I do have a question though, because the numbers that the city just read into the record don't reflect a payment of some sort. So.
It's
what-
No, they
reflect-
didn't make any payment.
It's
No, there wasn't
reflecting,
one.
it's reflecting a GRB collections payment of $5,151.43.
From an
Did it come
outside
from the
collection
title company?
agency?
Yeah, from an outside collection agency. I don't know if that's a payment from y'all. That's what it's reflecting. I don't know where that payment came from, but
When?
that's why I'm reading what the difference is, because the total is only $3,870
All right, so
and
let's
49
stop.
cents.
So that's probably my bill with my company because I haven't filed the paperwork, or no? I'm wrong.
Yes.
So the to-
Hold on. All right, Katrina, that's very helpful. When did that payment come in?
Let me see. It looks like it came in on, so they did like, so July 8th. And
July
then it
8th?
was, so it was
2020.
effective July 8th. And then another payment of a smaller amount, which is included with this, was July 11th. And they all posted on July 18th.
All right, so Ms. Clausell, are you sure that the title company is holding money?
That's what I was told, and I
Because-
just
Go ahead.
wanted to help. I said, let's see if we can get it reduced again. I was told that they were gonna hold it until, and I actually told them, I said, hey, they gave us a new date for November 12th. We're gonna have another hearing, and then at that time, I'll just forward whatever you guys, because I've been using my address because the church was vacant for so long. They weren't getting any of the mail. That's why the bills weren't being paid in the first, they just didn't know anything. And the mail was just going into a black hole. So I listed my home address, and I've been trying to get the mail, just trying to help, if you know what I'm saying. And we have been making some progress, but I was under the impression that the title company was, and this Class Abstract is the name of the title company, and I thought they were holding the money until we had this issue resolved. So you
Well, it
guys would know
sounds like
better than me.
Some money, at least $5,150 went to the city's collection agency and then was applied to this refuse collection fee bill, correct, Ms. Katrina?
That's what it looks like
Okay,
when I'm
so-
looking at like payments made.
But specifically for the refuse. All right, Melissa, can we know what's in our own file in terms of dates and numbers and decisions?
Sure. I just want to confirm with Katrina again, Ms. Whitaker again, the penalty amount is $2,778.
Yes, 2,778.92. Yeah.
And the interest was $591.57.
Yes.
And the total, because you never finished that.
Oh, and there is a principal of $500,
Mhm.
0 cents. The total was $3,870.49.
Okay, thank you for that. We didn't get those last couple of numbers, and I just wanted to make sure.
Oh,
Okay,
Can I
Um,
ask a question?
1 second. At the
Okay.
time of the hearing in January of 2024, the principal was $4,400. The interest was $1,784. The penalty was $2,676, and the total due was $8,860. These two numbers seem to match.
I was gonna say that makes a lot of sense,
Yes.
actually. And $5,150 came in.
Mhm.
All right. And what was the decision of the hearing officer?
At that time, it was to abate 100% of the interest and the penalties.
Right.
Okay. Let's do this. Ms. Clausell, just if either you or Ms. Nicholson or Ms. Williams could tell us a little bit in terms of during the years in question, which were 13 to 24, what was this property being used for anything?
No, ma'am. The church doors closed in 2017, and the doors closed and they weren't using it for anything. There were times when people would drop off trash, just, illegally. At a couple times there were squatters that were removed, but in an official sense, the property has been vacant since the church doors closed in 2017.
From 13 to 17, it was operating as a church?
No, let me pull up the dates for you. Hold on. I don't want to give you bad information. If you guys know the dates by heart, feel free to
No, in 2013, we weren't there. Huh?
No, that's what people had broke into the building.
No, we was bombarded with squatters.
Yeah.
These squatters coming in and
And you would call them, they wouldn't send
in the
nobody
building.
out to get rid of them.
yeah, the police would come and put them out.
in 2013.
Yeah,
Just sit there.
2013.
When did do they know when it stopped being a church?
The church doors closed officially what year?
2015.
2015?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think that's what the book, the ledger says.
Let me see if I have the paperwork. I brought some stuff with me.
Ms. Scattergood, did you have any questions or anything you wanted to provide us?
No, I know when we stopped having service.
I'm sorry.
So-
All right, hold on, Ms. Clausel. We're gonna
Okay,
go
okay,
over
so
and see what the city wants to, what kind of information the city can provide.
I
All
think
you
I
have to do
might.
is unmute, Ms. Clausel.
I think I might understand what seems to be going on. So when you filed the appeal of the TRB decision, it automatically reversed the adjustment that was made based upon the departmental hearing officer's abatement in January. So when you appeal a decision to the tax review board, you start from square one, and whatever decision was reached in the hearing below is wiped away, and the tax review board has what we call de novo review. So that's probably why the title company didn't see the new abatement on their search, because because the abatement was removed when you made the decision to appeal the hearing officer's decision. Does that make sense?
It does. It does. And I'm
So
trying.
I think so then I think maybe the outside collection agency must have made a payment against the larger $8,800 balance that was
Right.
initially in dispute back in January,
Right.
which
Because
is
I
why
reached out to the TRB on
okay.
I reached out to the TRB on July 1st saying, please help. I didn't realize that me reaching out, or maybe they didn't understand what I was asking for. I was just saying, can we please reinstate the abatement, which seemed to have gone away because no payments had been made, because they finally sold the property and they want to make good on the reduced amount. But
Of course.
the
Okay.
paperwork was showing that all of it had been reapplied. So thank you for that explanation. I didn't know that.
All right, I think
Yes.
we understand what's going on, and I just want to make sure we have the numbers right, Ms. Whitaker. The total that Ms. Andre read out that was due in January of 24 was 8860. Is that correct, Melissa?
Yes.
8860. They
8860.
paid, or somebody paid, or GRB paid, or whatever it is, 5150. Correct?
Yeah, 51, 51, 43.
All right, so that leaves 37.
Yeah.
And all right, that makes sense. All right, do any board members have any other questions?
No.
No, Ms. Scattergood, is there anything else you want to ask? Otherwise, we're going to step aside.
Not at this time, Ms. Chair.
Okay, so we're going to step aside. Ms. Clausel, hang tight. The board's going to talk this over.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Wow, can you guys believe that? Let me go on mute.
Paula, everybody's back.
Okay, the tax review board is back in session. We reviewed all the information. Thank you, Ms. Clauselli. Actually, you made a very cogent presentation on behalf of your friends, prior owners, and Ms. Scattergood as well. And we think that in order to best resolve this with the current situation, the payment that was made to come as close as we can, I guess, to the prior decision, if that's the fairest way, that we are going to abate all of the interest and all of the penalty that is outstanding. So that the only thing remaining will be the $500 current principal, which I believe is for 2024, Ms. Whitaker?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, which is for Ms. Clausel under her new ownership. And if it's vacant, you now know you can file a vacancy claim for an exemption until you're using the property.
That's what I was waiting for because I didn't want to muddy the waters any more than it already
Already
is.
was. So we're gonna, by abating the interest and penalty, the church no longer will have a balance that's attributable to its ownership time. They will get a letter. Where's the mail going? Hold on. 5500 Ardley Street is still the correct place to send the mail?
No, because the building is empty. Right now I've been picking up their mail for them. You guys want it to come to me or here? Here? Okay.
Katrina,
please
where
say-
has the, Katrina, sorry to interrupt,
Go
Ms.
ahead.
Clausel. I just want to confirm, Katrina, where is the mail? Where are these bills being sent? To the property?
It's not being sent anywhere. They have like a tag or something on here saying bad address.
Okay.
So it's not being sent anywhere. I think they just are not sending the mail because they don't
Alright,
have an address.
So what's the best, so I know, I don't know, Ms. Clausel, do you know how to put something in the chat?
Yes. Yep.
Could
I
you
can
put the
take this
correct
off.
address in the chat, and that way the city can pick it up, Ms. Whitaker, and our office, when Ms. Andre returns, can pick it up as well. And then
Yep.
we'll make sure that our decision letter goes to the correct address. Ms. Andre, did I just see your arm?
I will try
Okay,
to
so
take
we
this
need to
off.
change the mailing address on this.
Here,
So 78,
785.
2.
What is the new mailing address?
All right, Ms. Clausel, what is the new mailing address?
7852 Temple Road. I'm putting it in 19150. Can you see it?
7852 Temple Road?
Yes, sir. 19150.
Okay.
I see it in the chat, Ms. Clausel.
Okay, so you will, then our decision letter with the decision to abate the remaining interest and penalty will be sent to that address. And it will provide information as to our decision. Either party may appeal to the Court of Common Pleas should they so desire. And can I get, did I do this? I don't know. Did I get concurrence from everybody?
Yes, John O'Connor, I concur.
Nancy Camerodiner, I concur.
All Weiss, I concur. So I believe that concludes your business. Thank you for your patience.
Oh, so can I ask one question? Thank you so much. So I'm gonna let her realtor know and everybody, because like I said, I'm just here to help. So the balance is 500. They'll get a letter within 2 weeks, and that'll have instructions on where to send payment and everything in that nature.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, and then you understand the contacting revenue for a vacancy claim. If
For myself, now
right,
that
for
I
your
own
own
the property.
ownership, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Should I wait until this is? I can get on it right away. Okay.
Get the
Perfect.
vacancy, try to get the vacancy exemption while it's still vacant. And then down the road, when you guys are ready to reopen again, you can apply for a house of worship exemption.
I just wanted to tell you that they closed the refuse account. So you can get the vacancy license for 2024, but they closed it because in the building code it's still saying religious.
Yeah, I was
property.
gonna say it's not gonna be a church moving forward. It was a church, but
Yeah, it's just that they might well, depending on what the new building code is going to be, they might reopen it. I'm just letting you know right now it's closed, so it's not going to show like a bill for 2025 or anything
Until you're ready.
until you change till the building code gets changed through the Office of Property Assessment.
okay. So who do I contact to start this process for myself?
Which
Correct.
process?
I'm sorry.
Which process? Vacancy?
For the
Or
code?
to say that it's vacant now under my company's name.
Department of Revenue.
Department of Revenue.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. You guys have been wonderful. Thank you so much.
Good luck. Bye-bye.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
And we are going to move on to,
Okay, hold tight.
is it, which case is this now, Melissa? Case number 6?
Yes,
All right, we're going to move on to case number 6, which is 5541 Lansdowne Avenue. Last 4 digits of the docket, KFCX. Is Ms. Fisher on the line?
she should be. 1 second. Wait a minute, why am I not unmuted?
She's muted.
Well, it's me.
You're muted her. I don't know.
It's *6 on your phone to unmute.
Oh, I hear
There's a
everybody.
lot of echoing happening.
1 second. Ms. Fisher?
Yeah,
Okay. Can everybody hear her?
Yes.
can you hear me?
Yes, Ms. Fisher, can you hear us sufficiently?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, this is
Yes,
Paula
I
Weiss.
can hear you.
Okay, this is Paula Weiss, Chair of the Tax Review Board. We are here for the case that you have in front of us today for the property at 5541 Lansdowne Avenue. Could you state your full name for us, please?
Janet Fisher.
And did you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. We're
I
going to
do.
have the city representative start first to provide us with the dates and dollar amounts that are in controversy, and then we will come back to you for you to explain to us why you have petitioned this board and what you're looking for. Okay?
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. Ms. Scattergood? Or Ms.
I
Whitaker?
will yield the
Yeah.
floor to Ms. Whitaker.
Okay.
Okay, so this covers the years 2010 through 2024. The principal is $5,150.00. The penalties is $4,351.61. The interest is $3,011.00, and the total is $12,512.61.
Thank you. All right, Ms. Fisher, what is it that you would like to tell us about this?
Okay. Back in 2010, me and my ex had a real bad breakup, and he took over all the properties, and he wasn't paying anything. I wasn't allowed into the buildings, nothing. We're still in court now, and I haven't received not one dime. I went out on disability. I had to get another job just so I can just keep up with the agreements that I had made. I'm just trying to get.
Are you still an owner of this property?
Yes.
Yes, you're a co-owner of this property?
No, I'm an owner of the property.
You own this property outright?
Yeah.
And what kind of property is this?
It's a triplex, but what it was, it's a triplex. But his name was on the loan, but just my name was on the deed. And he took over the property. The people, we had already had the property. The people, they wouldn't give me a dime. When we went to court, is when we did go to court, and I did gain access of the property. That's only been 1 year.
I'm sorry, I'm having trouble hearing you. You're going in and out.
I said that he co-signed for the property, but the deed was in my name. Can you hear me?
Yes.
And when we went our separate ways, the people that were in the property, he told them not to give me nothing. They didn't give me nothing for years and years. We finally went to court. Was it last year? And I gained all access to the property. They gave it to me, but I haven't been able to do anything with it. not one thing. I had to get the people out that was in it. It's just, I'm just trying.
Okay. Ms. Scattergood?
Ms. Fisher, do you currently live at this property?
No, I don't live there.
Okay. Where are
Thank
bills?
you.
Where do you have bills sent for like water and utilities and trash for this property?
5143 Split Lane.
Okay. So when you said your ex told people in there not to give you anything, do you mean tenants living in the property?
Yes, at the time it was tenants.
Okay. So they weren't paying you any rent? Were they paying anybody rent?
They wasn't paying me, and they wasn't paying me anything, and
Okay.
he wasn't giving me anything. Not even when it came down, it's a mortgage property. Yeah, I'm just getting the mortgage together. I'm just getting that back together. I'm just trying to get everything together.
Of course. Okay.
I have paperwork show of the proof that we went to court and what was awarded to me, and the only thing that saved me is because his name wasn't on the deed.
Okay.
But he was a co-owner, so they awarded me the whole property. And then I had to get the.
You said this took place around 2010?
No. This we broke up in 2010.
Okay.
I think 2010.
Okay.
But I'm just a little confused because I'm nervous. We broke up then, and although it took me that long, I had a nervous breakdown behind it. It took me that long. Then by the time I started to go do something, the COVID hit, and then I couldn't do anything.
Right.
That time it was over, I started over again.
Okay. All right. So I'm, excuse me, going to ask a couple of questions to Ms. Whitaker. And I might circle back to you.
You
but
mean? Oh, okay. You want to ask somebody else questions? Okay.
is that all right? Do you have anything else do you have anything you need to ask me so far before I mean, hopefully, I think Ms. Whitaker might be able to clear some stuff up, but.
Okay.
All right, move on.
I'll come back to you. Okay, so Ms. Whitaker, you've had a chance to review Ms. Fisher's account.
Yes.
Okay. And when does our system show that that Ms. Fisher acquired ownership of the property?
It shows. November 24, 2006.
Okay. And where have bills been sent for the trash collection during the period in dispute, which is 2010 through 2020, what, 4?
Yes.
Okay.
It's been showing the address that she stated earlier, the 5143 Westwood Lane, Pensacola,
Okay.
New Jersey.
Okay. And how many units are in this property?
All I can see that is a triplex.
It's a triplex. Okay.
Yeah.
Is there any info on the system that would show owner occupied periods during those 14 years?
No.
Okay. And has Ms. Fisher ever submitted private hauler contracts to have some other party collect the trash?
No, only one for a vacant license, but it was denied. It was denied though.
When did Ms. Fisher apply for this vacant property exemption license?
Let me see. to get, or sorry, January, it was January 2nd, I believe, January 2nd of 2024. She
Okay.
applied for a vacant refuse exemption, I should
So,
say.
okay,
There's no
vacancy.
license.
Okay, so she never applied for a vacancy license for the property itself,
No.
but she applied for the vacant property exemption as it pertains to trash collection,
Yes.
and that was denied. Does it show, does the system show the reason for that denial?
She didn't provide a vacancy license.
Okay. Have any other licenses been issued at this property during the period in dispute?
Only for a rental license, which was active from 2009 to 2015.
Okay. And what was the mailing address of record for that rental license?
I can look on the rental license, and it says the same address, 5143 Westwood Lane, Pennsauken, New Jersey.
Okay. And had a question. Where'd it go? Oh, what does the payment history look like on this account?
Let me see. I don't see any payments. No payments were made. Yeah, no payments were made.
At least since what, 2022, when our online system migrated, or
It's
or
none
period?
at all.
Okay.
Since 2010, there's been nothing. No
Okay.
payments.
Okay. And Ms. Fisher has been the property owner of record for that whole time.
Yes.
Okay. And there have been no other exemptions requested aside from that vacancy exemption requested earlier this year.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. That's all I have for Ms. Whitaker. I do have just one more question for you, Ms. Fisher, if you don't mind.
Okay, now I have one too. I remember going to get a vacancy.
I can't hear
You
you.
came in and out there, Ms. Fisher.
Oh, you can't hear me?
Your signal was a little spotty there. Just repeat after you remember coming out for a vacancy.
I remember going to get a vacancy license to put on the building, but I couldn't get it because of a renter's license. That's what I believe it was for. I didn't know that I was doing it for refuge. I don't remember what it was for, but I did what they told me to do. And I remember them saying that I needed a vacancy license, a vacancy. I've never even heard of that before. I didn't know. And when I went there, I did get denied. But that was my first time ever even knowing to do something like that.
Okay.
All right.
My quick question for you, Ms. Fisher, is who else lives at the address in Pennsauken, New Jersey with you?
Just me.
Just you.
Me.
Okay. And you've lived there for how much of the period, for what period, what portion of the period in question?
I've lived there the whole time.
The whole time. Okay.
I've lived there. Yeah.
And you've been getting.
Don't remember. Yes, I've been getting the mail.
Have you been getting bills for like gas and water and other utilities for this property sent there?
No. I wouldn't get it. I wouldn't have gotten the utility bills for the property. At the time, he was collecting all the rents, and I know that whoever's renting it, they have to pay their own utility bills.
Okay.
Anything else, Ms. Scattergood?
just that it doesn't appear that Ms. Fisher has any exemptions for which she's eligible at the moment, and that the fact that she's received notice of the bills suggests that lack of notice is not a suitable defense, I suppose. And I sympathize with having situation. I
What
hate.
could I do? What could I do?
Well, I have a question.
What could I do? I don't
Ms.
have
Fisher?
enough money to run. Yes.
Ms. Fisher, the petition you
But
filed with the
I
tax,
spent so much money in the lawyer's money.
Right.
Ms.
Just
Fisher,
trying to get property just to get claim of my building. I didn't even think I would be able to get that. I had to try to get the building. I didn't know what to do. I just knew to get a lawyer.
Ms. Fisher, this is Paula Weiss, the chair of the board. The petition that you filed with the tax review board requesting this hearing states in the reason for this appeal that you thought your property manager was taking care of the bills. Could you speak to who was managing your property, what you meant by that?
Warren Wickerson, that was my ex.
Okay, you call him the property manager?
Because at the time, that's what he was. He was
Okay,
taking care of the
thank you. That does answer the question. Anything else, Ms. Scattergood?
Not at this time, Ms. Chairperson.
All right, Ms. Fisher, if you'll just wait patiently, the board is going to have a private conversation and review everything that you have provided and the city has provided, and we will render a decision on this matter.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you.
Back?
Waiting for Nancy. I don't know. Here she is. Should be back. Uh-oh. Where'd she go?
Yes. All right, Tax Review Board is now in session.
Ms.
Uh,
Fisher, can you hear us?
Yes,
Miss-
this is Janet Fisher.
All right, so the Tax Review Board is back in session. We had a brief conversation to review the information provided by both the petitioner and the city. And it is the determination of the board to abate 1/2 of the penalty. It does appear that bills were being sent to the correct address the entire, for this period of time. It does appear from testimony that the property did have tenants, rent was being collected, the city was providing the services that it has billed for. Therefore, half the penalty, maybe it will be abated, contingent, however, on, installment arrangements being entered into within 30 days of receiving the adjusted bill. So can I get concurrence from board members?
Yes, John O'Connor, I do concur.
Nancy Cameradiner, I concur.
Paula Weiss, I concur. Ms. Fisher, you're going to get a letter from the Tax Review Board within 2 weeks. With that decision, you'll get an adjusted bill from the Department of Revenue. You'll have 30 days from that date to enter into some kind of payment arrangement with the Department of Revenue. Either side may appeal to the Court of Common Pleas, should they so desire, and that information will be in our decision letter as well. So thank you for coming in today by phone, and you will get a letter with that decision. And that concludes that hearing. We are gonna.
Ms. Fisher, did you hear that?
I heard it.
Okay.
I don't understand, but I did hear it.
All right, well, you'll get a letter with
Okay.
further explanation, but it's the decision of the board that 1/2 of the penalty that has accrued will be abated. And the rest of the bill
And
will remain.
So how much will that bring my bill to?
Oh, no.
Well, the penalty that the city read off today is 4,000, what?
The adjustment has to be done by the Department of Revenue, and they'll send you a bill in 2 weeks.
What if we can,
Okay.
Well, the penalty-
Even if I show y'all proof, if I bring in court documents saying that this man was still taking
But that's then
everything
between
from
you-
me,
That's then between you and him, and the city provided the services, the property, you've testified that the property
But-
was being used, there were tenants, and the city provided the
But
services.
I wasn't collecting any of the money, the rents, no nothing. I had the bills from when the mortgage wasn't paid and everything. I have everything showing that there's no way I can't do everything.
Well, Ms. Fisher, that's the extent of the relief that this board believes that they can provide. So you do have the right of appeal to the Court of Common Pleas. That information will be in your decision letter. And we're gonna
All right.
need to move on. We do have 2 more cases
Okay.
on. Thank you very much. We're gonna move on to the remaining cases on our docket. I do not believe that there are any further petitioners either online or in the hearing room. Is that
Yes.
correct?
That is correct.
Thank you, Ms. Andre. So case number 3, which is 1849 North 52nd Street, last 4 digits of the docket, 5891. I'm going to recommend that this be denied for failure to appear. Ms. Andre, is this the first listing?
This is the first listing before the board.
Okay, so denied for failure to
Okay.
appear.
Yes.
I'm supposed to hang up? Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you. Concurrence from board members?
John O'Connor, I concur.
Nancy Cameradiner, I concur.
Paula Weiss, I concur. And case number 5626 South 12th Street, Foreman's Money Loan Office, last 4 digits of the docket, 8398. Is this the first listing? Ms. Andre?
Yes, this is the first listing.
All right, so I'm going to recommend this be denied for failure to appear. Board
John
members?
O'Connor, I concur.
Nancy Cameradiner, I concur.
Paula Weiss, I concur. This matter will be denied for failure to appear, and I believe that that concludes our docket for today.
That is correct.
Yes.
Thanks, everybody, for your time.
Thank you, Ms. Scattergood. Thank you, Ms.
Very good.
Whitaker. Board members, Melissa.
Have a good evening.
See you next
Have a good
time.
evening.
Stay
Everybody
warm.
take care.
I know it got chilly, right?
It's cold.